Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now before this video begins, I want to quickly say thank you to everyone who watched my last video on the Mercy nerf and took their time to leave your thoughts and opinions. There were quite a lot of comments. I did read a lot of them, but I didn't get through all of them obviously. I think there was like 1,000 something comments or something crazy like that, so I'm pretty shook. Anyway, I guess the main thing is I feel like it's very difficult as the main healer to really keep your team alive, especially when there's a lot of damage coming in, which is where most of the frustration is coming from. But apart from that, she's definitely still playable, and I think she's still just as viable as any of the other support heroes when it comes to healing. But anyways, onto today's video. I want to talk to you guys a bit more about my experience in comp lately and what I've noticed has changed or shifted in terms of the meta and why I think this is a good thing for Overwatch. So if you guys want to know what's the real tea, then keep on watching. Alright, so for you guys who have been watching me for a long time, you probably know that one of my biggest frustrations with Overwatch is that as the seasons have progressed on, what we'd find is that there is often a meta that defines, a particular season or a couple of seasons where you have to pick certain heroes. Otherwise, you simply be at a disadvantage because these heroes are so strong that if you don't have them, then there's a high chance that you'll probably lose most team fights. So for example, in season 10, I think it was definitely the Hanzo Zarya meta where, because Hanzo just got reworked and his dragon works so well with Grav, and the fact that Mercy could damage boost it pretty much meant that you had to run that comp in most situations. By no means am I saying that that has changed completely, because we're still seeing a lot of Zaryas and Hanzos in comp because it's simply a safe combo to fall back on when you don't have other options. So we're still seeing a lot of that, but what I've noticed lately in my comp games is that there's a lot more variety when it comes to what players are picking. Really, I think that this is a combination of a variety of factors. Of course, we just got Hammond, or Wrecking Ball for those of you who want to be fancy, in competitive, and he is pretty much a dive off tank, so people are getting a real feel for him and how effective he can be with certain team comps. And secondly, of course, we just had a major patch which brought in all the changes to the support heroes, including, of course, the Mercy nerf, which I just talked about in my last video, which I honestly think is a major reason why there has been a shift in what people are playing and picking in competitive, because Mercy is no longer seen as a heal bitch, and because she isn't so dominant anymore, players have more freedom to pick other supports without feeling like they're losing out on anything major. And honestly, I feel like this is a really refreshing change for once, and it's definitely something that Overwatch needs more of, because over the past few seasons the game has just been so stale where you just verse the same team comps over and over again, and people were really losing interest in the game because of that. So to put it in other words, for me at least, I feel like Overwatch right now is in a state where it's slowly returning to its roots and promise of allowing players to play whatever heroes they want and not feel like they're being useless or being at a significant disadvantage. Like, I've noticed that there are a lot more, Ana players or Lucio players as a result of the latest patch, and it's something that is good to see, that there's a lot more variety when it comes to team comps. And I've also noticed that there are a lot more dive comps now, a lot more Divas and Winstons, whereas before we'd just be seeing Reinhardts and Zaryas. Not that they're completely useless now, because I feel like we're seeing a good balance of many different heroes being picked in different situations. Having said that, there are still a lot of issues I feel needs to be addressed slowly, without Blizzard, going for those huge drastic changes that completely shakes up everything and returns the game to a state where it's like, oh, it's another meta this time and you have to pick XYZ heroes, otherwise you're throwing. For example, and this might be a personal thing, I don't know, you guys tell me, but I don't like the fact that certain heroes have only specific limited counters to them, and the fact that you have to switch to these heroes in order to be able to make effective counterplays. So I'm talking about like Pharahs and even Bastion. Like, if you see a Bastion on the card, what are you going to pick? You're going to pick Junkrat, right? In most situations. Otherwise, they're probably going to steamroll you because there's no other effective way to stop the momentum that they get if they manage to win like the first team fight or whatever. Yes, I agree that everyone should learn more than one hero so they at least have a hero pool to select from, but at the same time, I feel like players should be able to play whoever they want, so long as they're genuinely trying, and that they shouldn't have to learn specific heroes in order to counter whatever's on the enemy team that requires them to play that, specific hero. Now, I am going to address the elephant in the room. I know a lot of you who watch me and follow me play the same heroes as me, which is pretty much, the support heroes, Moira, Mercy, as well as Symmetra. And I guess when it comes to Symmetra and heroes like her, such as Torbjorn, they're still in a very much shafted and sort of shunned place where they don't really have a role in Overwatch, so to speak. And they're still pretty much seen as throw picks, if you would like to call it that. And of course, when it comes to Mercy, she's in a very lackluster position right now, and it sucks that it really took so many nerfs to her just to allow the game to reach a place where we can finally see like different, like not just one meta, but really see like a variety of heroes being played. I know guys, I don't mean to complain, I'm sorry, but it's just that these are the heroes I love to play, and if we were to put the Overwatch heroes on a tier list, to see Symmetra and Mercy sort of being shafted to the bottom of the barrel, so to speak, it feels kind of sucky, and the fact that you have to put in more work just to do like as much as other heroes kind of sucks, but I guess that's the luck of the draw, and that's just how it is right now. And that's why I've been playing more Moira and Brigitte lately in comp, because they've been really fun to play, and they're also in a pretty good spot at the moment, especially Moira. I've had a lot of fun playing her, and I feel like she's definitely in a place where she can really contribute a lot with healing as well as damage, so she feels like a pretty good hybrid support DPS hero. Anyways guys, to recap, I feel like the meta's in a much better place than it has been in a long time, and that's been a pleasant surprise to me, I'm not gonna lie. And apart from further improvements to the obviously weaker heroes, I feel like Overwatch is in a pretty decent place at the moment, and I hope that it stays this way for a while longer before anything drastic happens. I think the last thing that anyone wants to go back to is a meta where it's like, oh, you get a turn to be OP, you get a turn to be OP, and you get a turn to be shit, and then that just changes like a month later. I feel like that's the worst thing, and it's been something that we've experienced for quite a while now. Anyway guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I know lately I've been making so many of these talking videos, it's like, do I even play the game anymore? But I mean, this is the kind of stuff that it seems like you guys respond to and you guys like watching, and I'm happy to make them. And also just on that, I feel like when you upload gameplay videos, they have to either be super entertaining games where like shit actually happens, otherwise it's just boring to watch. Like nobody wants to watch you like walking around for like half the game and not really doing anything and not really like even talking. That's like, I've seen so many Overwatch videos like that, and I just don't really find them entertaining or like interesting to watch. I don't know, maybe you guys have a different view, or maybe I should become an ASMR channel. What do you guys think? I'm just kidding, ASMR is, nope, it's not for me, but thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any comments, leave them down below. And also, I got a new intro and outro, as you will see very shortly, and I really hope you guys like them, because I've spent a bit of time getting them commissioned, and yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching once again, and bye guys, see you in the next one.